Hey everybody, hello beloveds. So I know some of y'all is over on in the Facebook of it all, and we're not quite done with the podcast yet. So I just came over here just to welcome you all and just kind of set things up. So we're gonna get started in just a moment. So, guys, we're about to get started. We're just letting Catherine. Oh, and she popped up in the back. I spoke her into existence in my backstage. Are you guys ready? Are you totally ready? Because I'm totally ready tonight. Let's have some fun. I'm going to play the intro and then we are gonna get started. again, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Dr. Lisa Brewer, and this is Heart of Inspiration, and this is the live after show that we do almost every Sunday night after our Sunday Soul podcast. Thanks, guys, thanks the new people for coming. You guys let everybody know that we're live. Like, I'm gonna let Twitter know. I gotta let the Tweety birds know that we're live now. Live now, so that they can come on over if they wish and join us. Katherine is backstage, so I'm gonna bring her up. Okay, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Hold on. Hi.
Lisa, how are you, goddess?
I'm very well, goddess, and you?
I was just watching our show and I'm like, oh, I'm like getting stuff out of that. Like, we were both there, but I'm like, there's more here.
I know. Katherine, I've got a little scratchy in your audio.
How's this?
Oh
Is
my
this
God.
better?
It's so much better.
I'm trying to do the deep, sexy voice, but it's not working with me. It's cracking.
It takes a little practice, dear. It takes a little practice. We'll have the sexy voice vocal lessons soon.
Side hustle.
Oh my gosh. I want to welcome everyone here. I want to welcome Sean Ray. So I have to tell you, Katherine, what happened earlier today. Considering what we just saw again, like, I get to watch these things so many times, and I learn something new every time. So earlier today, I was on another YouTube channel, Sherelle's World, and there was like a lot going on. Like, people just kind of came and attacked her based on an incident that she'd reported on. Is in the news. Like, that's just, she talks about current events, and sometimes it's some of the reality TV stuff. So some of it's somewhat more lighthearted, and then but things that are happening that we should probably talk about, right? Because it's happening. And she was just having a tough time today, so I got to go over there and just speak life. And it was a very beautiful moment. It was just a group of us ladies, group of us goddesses, and we had the opportunity to speak life into Sherelle. So some of our folks that were there earlier are here with us tonight. So if you see some references, that's what's going on. So thanks, guys, for
Thank
coming. I
you.
really appreciate it. Um, Hello, Jam. Hello, Joy. How are you? And Lashane. Hello, dear. And Debbie. Oh Lord, I've been on several platforms. I guess I'm making the rounds, Debbie. Thanks, guys. I'm so glad. Hey, Christina. Hi, Jen. Hey, honey. I'm so glad you guys could come. I do have some people over on the YouTube side, which I don't know why. Like, Desiree, for some reason, I don't get to see your chat over in the restream. But hello, I want you to let you know that I'm here. I see you here. Wow, sister. It's been probably a month since we recorded that.
Yeah, earlier because it was a
Oh,
couple weeks before my
yeah.
birthday. I remember the reference.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, like couple months. It's been a couple
Oh
months.
my gosh. Wow.
Mhm.
So what's been happening since then? What's been going on in Katherine's life since then?
Mm. Well, I am heading to Panama in a couple of weeks.
Shut up.
So that's kind of fun.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna like hook up with my husband in Panama.
Woohoo.
I know.
So she will not be
Yeah,
on YouTube. She will not be on the social medias.
I
Do
will not be
not look
on.
for her.
No. Well, we're actually doing a relocation tour. So with the work, I mean, that I kind of talked about this on your show
Hmm.
and talked about a little bit about his process. And so we have been visioning together and really, you know, consciously co-creating our own vision for our life, and then coming together and co-creating it as a partnership. He is
Yeah.
my king, I am his queen. And so we, with the closure of our business that I talked about, we had some choices,
Yep.
and there are also some conditions to navigate around that.
Yep.
And so it would have been really easy to default to going back to where we used to live before, which is a place with ocean and forests and is kind of more to my heart. And then while he was gone, of course, he was working in Mali, and he met all these expats, and he's worked overseas before. So he's done that before, but he hadn't. It is, yes, it is with Jackie, Panama relocation tours. So excited for that. Oh my God. So excited for that. And so we really leaned hard into what would we love? What would we like? What would we love? And so the conditions were trying to like pull us back, like, oh, what about, what about your mortgage? What about like your retirement? Because you kind of like, with the closure of your business, like, it's not like you get into business and
Right.
when that happens, there's an implication, right? There's an
Right.
implication.
Right.
And so the default would have been to do this one thing. And so we really leaned into what would we love? And let's take all the conditions off the table and just imagine that there was no considerations around financial benefit, because one of
Yeah.
the pluses is Panama doesn't they don't tax out of country income.
Oh.
But we took that off the table because we thought that, because if you make a decision about moving based or anything really
Right.
based on that, you're making an agreement with scarcity.
Right.
And so we were very conscious of, okay, that's not what we want to do here. So it took some heavy spiritual lifting. Okay, what would we love if like there
Sure.
was no benefit financially to living anywhere else in the world? What are the things? And by doing that, we were able to really tune into, well, what do we like to do? Because currently I'm living in Alberta, Canada. We've still got like a foot of snow on the ground. And I can tell you, I do not love that.
Right.
And there is some significant discontent. I'm a gardener. I want to be like my hands in the dirt,
Yes.
planting, growing, gardening. I want ocean.
Yes.
I want forest. Those
Yes.
things fill me up. And so we asked that question. And for him, yeah, totally the vibe. And actually we haven't been yet. We haven't been yet. So we asked the question and we realized like these are the things that we would love. And then we looked at, okay, and where in the world would we maybe find those things?
Yeah.
And so did the research, and Panama kept coming up, kept coming up. And
Wow.
so what I coach people to do, what I support people to do, and seriously, this is all we can do. We all want to kind of know like, well, what's every single step? Like I
Yep.
want to know the whole thing before I take any action at all.
Yes.
I
Yes.
want a
Yes.
guarantee, right? I want to know this is going to work. But it's like, that's
Yes.
not, sorry. It's not, there's parts of me that want that too. And I'm like,
Yes.
but I know it doesn't work that way. So is this a swearing appropriate show?
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
Okay. So, fuck. Okay. So we got to like take the step we can take. Okay. So if I really believed it was possible for us to live somewhere that we are absolutely in love with, that lights us up, that feeds our soul and heart,
Yeah.
what is the step we would take?
Yeah.
We would book a trip. Well, but then your limiting beliefs come up. What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? Okay, we take the step we can take. And so we actually had booked a relocation tour last year
Okay.
to go in under the Friendly Nations visa. And the reason I'm kind of getting a little bit more into detail in the story here is it's a good illustration of how the process of living into a vision works. So
Yes.
there's actually
I
quite a few
want you guys
teaching
to
points.
listen to this. I'm like uber super excited about, like, I'm literally, my spirit is literally jumping because I was just putting together the text or the context of what this full moon in Virgo is all about. And you are literally, guys, I want you to pay attention to this because this is literally step by step process on how to maximize this full moon energy. I'm just like losing my ish right now. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So no accidents.
None, only
Like no
synchronicity.
accidents that this is happening now, that we're talking about this, that you were just doing that. Like
Yes.
no accidents.
Yes.
Okay, so it starts with the vision. What would I love?
Yeah.
And not what do I think is possible? What does my bank account say?
Yes.
What do conditions and circumstances say? What does COVID say? What is my family going to say? Like,
Right.
okay, like what would I actually love? So we got to that. So we booked a tour, a relocation tour last summer. We did lots of research, YouTube and online, and we're on a bunch of different forums. And the government, the Panamanian government, there's a couple of different visa options for getting into the country, like for a residency visa. And
Mhm.
one of them is the Friendly Nations visa. And at that time, they had a portion of it, a way of doing it where it was pretty quick and pretty inexpensive, really.
Mhm.
And you could get your permanent residency within, I think, 3 months at that point. So we're like, well, this is the way to go. Like, this is easy. This is
Mhm.
awesome. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, look at that. It's all lining up. It's all
Wow.
lining up.
Wow.
Then the government changed the visa requirements. So they were no longer offering that option. So we said, okay, well, we better like hurry it up. We
Yeah,
like, okay, like this is kind of escalating our timeline here. So
absolutely.
we started the process, did all the paperwork. I'm up in Canada, so you have to get, and no matter where you are, you have to get like original copies, but like new, so that they can't be more than 6 months old, of like marriage licenses and birth certificates and things like that.
Yep.
So getting our paperwork together, and then they have to get apostilled. So you got to send them to in Canada's Global Affairs and then the Panamanian Embassy. So there's like a lot of steps that are really out of your control.
Mhm.
So we're in process. We're doing all the things. And on my husband's birthday, and I remember this, I remember this was his birthday, we find out that the government has actually sped up the deadline. So it was kind of here, and we were like, we had our flights booked, Airbnb booked, meeting with the lawyer booked. We had our appointment at the like residency place, appointment at the bank to open the bank account. Like it was all there. We just had to like
Right.
get on the plane and go.
Right.
And we find out that the government's changing it, and we're not going to meet that deadline.
Okay.
Yeah. So, of course, at the level of fact, there's this kind of human. And so, for all of us, right,
Yep.
when we're working towards a vision, we're going to experience setbacks.
Yep.
Some things are not going to go as you think,
Absolutely.
right? I've got this plan. You're like, oh, it's all working out. It's feeling easy. You're feeling all vibey and in flow. And then this thing outside of your control shows up,
Mhm.
and you can't do anything about it, but you can choose how to respond to it. So, so sometimes we go to like, oh, well, did I manifest that? Did I put it like bad vibrations?
Right.
And, it's definitely helpful looking at that. Okay, what's my state been? What have I been putting out there? But again, we're on this planet with all of these other factors happening, and some of them are out of our control.
Mhm.
So our choice in that moment is, okay, well, then how do I respond to this?
Mhm.
And so when we heard this, of course, the human part was like, oh, disappointed, pissed off, all of that stuff
Yeah.
for maybe 20 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. And because of the work I do, we know that when we create that vision, we hold it with an open hand. It's this or
Mhm.
something even better still.
Mhm.
Okay, so if this isn't working out, it means that there's an even better still option.
Right.
So in that moment, there's a choice. Do I quit? Do I blame myself? Do I throw my hands up in despair? Do I go back to my default? Do I play it safe? Right? All of those things. It's like, no, okay, well, we're gonna keep continuing to take the steps.
Yes.
So we're like, okay, well, let's reassess, right? Because the kind of actually going and doing the visa happened. We're like, okay, this is happening faster than we thought.
Mhm.
So we kind of backed up a little bit, reassessed. Well, is Panama really, really where we think we want to move? So we went through that whole process again, and sure enough, it came right up against us. Like, okay, well, that feels good. That feels good. So so what are the steps we can take? So we thought, and this is what I do. And for everybody listening right now, if you have a vision and you're not sure how to get there, what is the one next step you can take? And what if you knew with certainty that it was happening? If
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that this is happening,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, but I have built my faith muscle. I have created the mental rigor. If I really believed that this was going to happen, what is the step I would take?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, we would be selling our house in the spring, like this year.
Sure.
So let's start finishing painting and decluttering and getting rid of stuff. So we've been doing that, doing that. And in the meantime, the Friendly Nations visa still exists, but now it's like there's quite a financial element to it that is doesn't yeah, just doesn't align for us right now. So we're like, well, we would not love that. We don't know how it's going to work out, but we know that we take the step we can take. So if we really believe that we were going to go down there, what is the step we would take? So we're taking these steps where,
Yes.
my husband gets a job in Madagascar because that's part of his vision of what he would love
Yeah.
working, helping to develop local workforces and
Yeah.
train people and build capacity. And he can fly in and out of Panama, right? So instead of flying in and out of Alberta, so that, okay, tick, we've kind of taken that step. We're taking steps at the house. And then I'm in, so the Panama Relocation Tour is the tour that we're going on, and they have a private Facebook group. They have like an online guide
Uh-huh.
which we initially purchased because I'm like, I don't want to research all this stuff myself. Like, I want
Yeah.
to push the easy button and get it.
Yeah.
So we got the guide. So we're in the Facebook group and we're thinking, okay, well, let's book a tour anyway. Go down and check it out because we haven't actually been to Panama.
Sure.
So we want to, kind of do the boots on the ground test. So we do that. And we're like, well, we don't know the how, but we know this is a step. We know this is a step. And then in the group, the woman who runs the tour, Jackie, she shares with us that she's been working with a lawyer to verify that there's a workaround the Friendly Nations visa so that we don't have to buy a property
Exactly.
or put, a huge amount of money in the bank account. So taking the steps and this thing that's happening. And so for all of you listening, there are forces at work that you will never know about
Yes.
until you start to take the action. The
Absolutely.
universe can't meet you unless you give it something to meet you with.
Absolutely. You absolutely have to. And I've seen that happen over and over and over in my life. And just, I mean, and recently just I've taken some steps in my personal life, in my business life, with the the school, Lightworker Academy, with all these different things that I'm like, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but it feels right. And I don't really know how to get there. Like, if you had asked me in November 2020, like, can you see yourself at this position that the status that I'm in right now? I would have been like, absolutely not.
Mhm.
I had no way to know how to get where I am right now, but I just kept taking a step
Yeah.
and then another
Yeah.
step and then another step. And it began to open up, right? The path just kind of becomes illuminated.
Mhm.
And if you're in a space where there's a fork in the road, or there's just like a little fog or a quandary or something, something gets shut down. And you don't know why it got shut down, but then when you end up on this other path, you see that it absolutely is gonna work out so much
Mhm.
better than what
Yeah.
you ever would have imagined at first.
Yeah. Yeah. And really, I love that, Lisa, right? That we are actively like we're always co-creating with the universe.
Mhm,
Whether we're aware of it or not, it's happening.
mhm,
As we become more aware of our co-creative powers, there is that process of learning to build the trust, right? And knowing the trust
mhm.
and we don't need to know all the steps. We're actually not meant to know all the steps.
No.
If you think about co-creation with an infinite, whatever word you want to use,
Hmm.
God, goddess, universe, source, spirit,
Hmm.
quantum field, unified field, it literally has limitless possibilities. And so would you want to limit that based on what your human brain can think about? And so we take the step we can take, and imagine it's like walking through the dark and you got a little lantern and it's only showing you like one or two steps in front of you. If you sit there waiting for the all the steps to be revealed and you never take action, you're not going to get anywhere. So you take a step, and that then reveals the next step.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, make it make sense. How are you? Okay, guys, what I want to do is I want to take a really quick break, and I don't want you to lose it. I was actually jotting down something because, and I'll explain it why 'cause when we get these epiphanies. I'm gonna play a really super quick commercial, guys. So just give us just 1 minute. I'm gonna play a quick commercial, and then we're gonna be back. And then, I want to talk about with you. I want to talk about the fact that yes, we're not meant to know every step, but what came to mind was kind of the story of Moses and how
Mhm.
he had no clue and went a whole nother crazy direction to end up right at the exact right place.
Mhm.
I know that's kind of a weird way to sorry, it's a preacher in me, guys. Um, all right, hang on, guys. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna play this commercial, so you guys just hang tight. Here we go. Hey, I'm making this video from my phone. Why? Because I want you to see that you don't need thousands of dollars in equipment in order to get your message out into the world. You see, a lot of us think that we need tens of thousands of Instagram followers or YouTube subscribers or Facebook followers in order for us to have a successful, thriving, spiritually transformational business. I'm talking to my life coaches. I'm talking to my shamans. I'm talking to my readers. I'm talking to my astrologers, my spiritual coaches, that you are here to transform the world. I want you to join me for a free 3-day workshop. That's right, 3 days, 11 hours. That's all my coaches and I need in order to help you clearly identify who is your audience, how do you serve them, and what transformation you are going to empower them and assist them in achieving. I want you to click the link down below. You've got nothing to lose. It's absolutely free. Get clear on that, and I guarantee you'll have a business. Talk to you soon. Muted. That link is www.lightworkerliftoff.com, and it's from March 18th to the 20th, guys. Come work with my coaches and I. We absolutely love to do what we do, which is help empower you to get your voice heard, and so that you can be making that impact in your purpose in the way that you're meant to, in the way that you're destined to, in the way that you agreed to before you ever came here. So I want you guys to go over there and sign up for that. There's a few VIP options as well, but it's completely free. I would love to see all of you this weekend. Thank you for that. And also, please do not forget to in the description box below, and I put it in the chat every once in a while. Catherine has graciously, she's got a free gift, a visualization meditation, and I put the link in the description, and I'm putting the link here as well. Please go and download that and check her website out, check her YouTube channel out, check her podcast. Like, we've become sisters from another mister, like seriously,
Mhm.
just like this instantaneously. So go check it all out, guys. I'm so excited that you guys get to do this with all of us. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Oh my gosh. That's what we love to do. Bring people out of dark places. I was having a discussion earlier today. Hey, Cricket. Um, and oh my gosh, we got plenty of new subbies. Hello. Um, where was I? Light worker. Someone and I, they were chatting with me, and they were like, people don't know what the definition of a light worker is. And I guess that's true because a lot of us are coming from some like form of religion, and so anything that's not like spoken of in that way, um, either is like of the devil or whatever. But anyway, it's a whole nother discussion. We'll have another day. But this, I mean, for us, really, the true to me definition of a light worker is just one that embodies and imbues and emanates light and love, and is here raising the vibration of humanity, or helping somebody that's in a dark place lift out of that place, help empower somebody that feels powerless, right? Show them, teach them, give them something that they can then grab onto and take that energy and then utilize it in their own lives. This is such an amazing thing that we do.
Mhm. I love that, Lisa, and I think it also, part of that call, my belief anyway, and, people can decide if this resonates for them at all, is that part of that call is shining your own light first.
Mhm.
Because I think we can, as empaths and light workers, there can be patterns or tendencies or beliefs that we need to like serve everyone else, and we don't honor ourself, we don't stand in our power, and so it takes a lot of courage actually to be able to really do your own work, to heal yourself, to
Mhm.
shine your light, right? And then from that
Mhm.
light, then really be supporting and serving other people, but to actually start to put yourself on the list and at the top of the list.
Yeah, I was just gonna say at the top of the list, because
Yeah.
empaths, we don't like to do our own work. It's so much easier for us to do the work on everybody else, right? Everybody else needs all this help, and we become
Mhm.
this martyr that nobody asked for.
Mhm. Yeah, and then if you think about it too, like everything is energy, everything is vibration. So if you are helping and serving and supporting, but you're not in integrity with your own self, like what is the vibration? What is the frequency of the help that you're giving?
Yes.
So,
Yes. That's so true. My God. That's
yeah.
so true. Okay, let's get back to creating this vision, right? To
Mhm.
bringing it to life, bringing it to
Yeah.
manifestation. Um, the reason why what you said about we aren't meant to know all the steps, right? And I put to getting to our destiny, or all the steps required to create our vision.
Mhm.
Um, we used to say something in the church every once in a while that if Moses had known what it was going to take for him to fulfill his destiny, he probably never would have done it. Like,
Mhm.
he probably would have either chilled out in the palace, right, in Pharaoh's court, or when
Netflix
he
and
left,
chill.
yeah, just chill, have his life. Or when he left and, like, created this life with a family, and it was just simple, and it was fulfilling, and he was happy, like, that's the impression that I get. He felt real good about what's going on, like, he was cool, and then all of a sudden, it's like, "Yeah, tap, 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 Imma need you to go back." "What? No. Uh-uh. I'm not trying to do that. I'm over here, got this thing, I can't even talk, I have a stutter. I'm not eloquent. I don't have any I don't have any weaponry, or I don't have anything. I'm just a simple shepherd. I'm a Bedouin. And when I look at that story, it's like, well, what do you have in your hand? Let me just show you what you can create with what's right here. I don't need to show you everything else. I can show you this, and that gives you enough courage to take the next step. and you
Mhm.
begin to trust the energetic flow. You begin to trust the power. You begin to trust, as we would say in the church, the anointing. You begin to trust you that you can actually be this channel. Really, it's for yourself, but you could be this channel of fabulous, amazing cosmic energy and recreate your entire world one step at a time, one brick at a time. Like you're not going to build the whole palace in the blink of an eye, but you can start digging the foundation
Mhm. Or designing the blueprint.
or designing the blueprint. Yeah, you see me, I just went to digging a hole. I don't even know what darn thing's going to look like. So,
Mm.
Catherine, as you and your husband, as your sacred creator partner, are
Mhm.
taking these steps, right, to create the vision, what would be, if you were going to kind of like bring in succinctly, what would be some tips that you would give to folks here as they're each creating their vision?
Yeah. I'll be super succinct here. So it's actually it's a 10-step process that I guide people through. And the first step is to create that blueprint and to do it with clarity. And that's really, and I brought my mat wide. I mean, I didn't have to bring it, it was right here, but the magic wand thinking, really, really, really leaning into possibility thinking, really giving yourself permission to dream, knowing that your dream is your soul's calling and your dream is unique to you, and your dream is actually life's idea for you. And just
Yeah.
let that sink in. Your dream is life's idea for you because nobody else on this planet is ever going to have the same dream as you.
No.
No one. And so you are the only person who can dream your dream. So
Yeah.
giving yourself permission to really, really tune into what would I love? Like if I was guaranteed to succeed and create that full spectrum vision. So that's step one. Then you got to decide. Sorry, you can't just like sit on the couch and right. That's why people make vision boards or they make a plan, but they don't actually decide for it because the decision is not a one and done. It is you decide for it again and again and again. So you decide for it when you say, okay, I'm doing this thing. You decide for it when you don't feel like it. You decide for it when you had a failure. You decide for it when you just want to go and watch Netflix. Like you have to decide again and again and again. And then you've got to serve that decision with action because a
Mm.
decision with action is actually not a decision. Like think about it, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
not actually taking some kind of action, and
Mm-hmm.
it's also got to be action in service of your vision because we have our when I talked about this with Lisa on the episode, we've got these operating systems and beliefs, and they want us to stay where we are. That's their job, is to keep us in the comfort zone, right? So it's not a bad thing. We don't want to shame them. That's just, they're just doing what they're designed to do. And so they'll try to distract us, delay us, dissuade us, like, oh, I'll do the laundry and then I'll like take action on the thing. Or I'll, make my website. I'll spend, 2 years making the perfect website and then I'll actually launch my business. Or, I'll wait till I have like a whole bunch of followers and then I'll do. So you've got to take the right action, right? And
Mm-hmm.
action that it's not going to be perfect, to be clear, imperfect action, but it's
Mm-hmm.
the action that actually starts to move the molecules. So get
Mm-hmm.
clear on what it is that you want. Know that it's going to evolve and change, right? So as you start to take steps, as you start to actually like live into it and experience it, you're going to get more information about like, oh, well, actually, I thought I would love that, but I actually don't. Like, I kind of love that. I want to shift it. That's okay. You're doing it right. Doesn't mean you did it wrong. You're doing it right. So it's going to evolve. It's going to shift. It's going to change. Really, really decide for it, right? And then serve that decision with action. So those are some like really easy, but like if you just do that consistently, like your
Yeah.
life is going to look totally different.
Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do they say? Faith without works is dead. You can have
Mm.
all the belief in the world.
Yeah.
You can make this decision, I'm going to do this. But if you do
Yeah.
not take corresponding action, do
Yeah.
you know what actually, to me, this is what I feel happens? Then we're actually not backing up our words. And so, with
Mhm.
actual energy, we're not expending any energy in that direction. So, we're
Yeah.
not setting any energy in motion.
Yeah. Exactly.
Universe can't
Yeah.
bring something back. You can't
No, it can.
create
Yeah.
something if you don't put your hands to the clay.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I imagine the universe is just like waiting there for us, right? It's like, oh, is she gonna do it? Is she gonna do it this time? Is she gonna do it? Is she gonna do it? And we're like, okay, I'm doing it this time. And the universe is like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. But we
Wah,
don't
wah,
actually like take a
wah.
step. So the universe is like, right? Okay, well, and then
Wah,
we do it
wah.
again. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Right? So the universe is like literally just sitting there waiting for you, right? Like I can't even tell you how many clients who and they talk about like they're bumping up against this, like it's their belief, right? Their fear.
Yeah.
And they're bumping, and they're not taking the action. And then as soon as they take the action, it's like freaking silver platters. Seriously. Like stuff that they can't even like they couldn't even foresee, like, oh my god, I didn't even know that that was an option. Well, of course not. Of course not, because you're not the universe. You're a piece of the universe. So
Literally, I
i'm
kid
getting all i'm getting all
you.
worked up here.
I kid you not. I kid you. Guys, oh my God. Okay, so listen, I started this podcast like, I think a year ago. I never even took it flipping seriously. And then in November, I was like, well, I think I'm going to attend this 3-day thing. I actually just wanted to get out of the house. And so not that I needed an excuse, but I did this like 3-day virtual thing in Summit or whatever in November, and I used that excuse to go book myself a room or condo at this resort kind of thing. It wasn't that fancy, guys, but it was awesome for me because I got 3 days away. It was great, and I thought it was just so I could learn a few things and have a good time, right? No, no, it literally changed my entire life.
Hmm.
That one decision to invest, I think I had to spend like $300-400. Just $300
Wow.
for the VIP because I don't do anything, well, almost nothing unless I'm doing it VIP, guys.
And I honor you for owning that for yourself, right? Because I think so often, and so we kind of talked about this on the show too with abundance. So often we're like, oh well, like we make excuses for why we like made this decision. No, I
Mm-mm.
go VIP, right? That is
Absolutely.
solid state. That is solid state.
I deserve nothing less.
Mhm.
And so, okay, guys, whatever. But this is my thing though. Like when you do the VIP thing, first of all, you're telling yourself, I am a VIP.
Mhm.
Second of all, there are perks that go along with signing up for anything VIP. Perks like I usually get extra time with whomever is
Mhm.
putting on this event, or I get all these recordings, or I get these free gifts, or I get, these. Da, 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 da. So if I'm going to invest my time, which is more valuable than the $300, let's be
Mhm.
clear. It was like 24 or more, like each day was like an 8, 9 hour day. A couple days were like 10-hour days. That's a lot of time. So why would I shortchange myself and just
Mhm.
okay, yeah, I could have spent 97. No, no, no. I'm going to maximize my time and really immerse myself in this. That's why I went and
Mhm.
got a condo. I, ordered stuff. I cooked there. I just, it was a nice little getaway for me. But I immersed myself where I didn't have anybody else pulling on me. I didn't have grandbabies. I didn't have my son, my daughter-in-law, nothing. The dog, the cats, nothing. So yes, I'm VIP. Absolutely, I am. And because I
Mhm.
invested myself and was thinking like a VIP, because I act like a VIP, because I am a CEO, because I am a founder, because I am a conscious media mogul, then it was a life changing experience. Because all of a sudden, all this podcasting thing got opened up to me. I'm like, what? This is how people do this? I have met so many amazing people as a result of that decision, and then another decision to get into another networking group, which is how I met you. And then I have made like amazing friends and met some amazing people that are on the level, or we're all moving to the same level. We might not be doing the same thing, but our vision is big. If you're not running with friends whose visions are big, at least as big, if not bigger than yours, you're always going to stay at the same place that you're at.
Mhm. 100%. We become like the 5 people we spend the most time with.
Yeah.
And from, from an energetic perspective as well, we actually, and there's lots of, measurements that back this up. We actually get into resonance, into like a vibrational resonance with the people that we spend with. So especially when you are building your vision, you're building your business, you're living into your dream, having those partners in believing who are also advancing, and you get the benefit of that at an energetic level, being in the same container with people of a like mind, and you benefit from their believing in you, and
Mhm.
you benefit from their success as well. Like, I can't tell you how many times in my mastermind groups where one of the members will have like this quantum leap in their results, and then
Mhm.
pretty soon everybody in the group is like popping like popcorn because they're in
Mhm.
that, right? They're in that container together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an energetic exchange. It is a energetic
Mhm.
oh God, union.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Resonance, right? Like, it's
Yes.
quantum entanglement, like electrons, they entangle them and then they put them on the other side of the planet and they change simultaneously.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's
Absolutely.
different healing modalities that do the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just amazing. I'm just so ever so grateful because it's just been, I keep saying like life changing. Like everyone's just like, I don't know, but I feel like I'm like now, like I'm rubbing shoulders with like, I don't know. This is like all these gods and goddesses that are just so utterly fabulous.
Yeah.
And it's like little old me, like I get to talk to you all. Like, Catherine doesn't realize that sometimes I fangirl out. She doesn't realize it. But I look at her and Catherine, I swear to you, I look at you and your life and your process and what you're doing,
Mhm.
and I am like, oh my God, that is so amazing. And I am in awe of you. I'm so in awe. I'm like, that's just so cool what she's doing.
Oh.
And
Mm.
it just uplifts me to be
Yeah.
able to be in fellowship with you in any capacity. I love it.
Yeah, and I hope you know I feel the same about you. You are so inspirational, and I'm so grateful to know you. Yeah.
Okay, see now they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, these women, get them off of here."
Virtual hug, virtual hug.
Virtual hug, yay. Imma fly down to Panama with y'all, I'm gonna be the third wheel. Hi,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And we
Listen,
don't we don't know how, right? Like, we don't know the when, we don't know the how, but we know that this is the step. So
yes.
yeah, booked the flights and taken the tour, and in the meantime, this, the kind of different, the change with the visa thing, and I've got this vision for, okay, this is, I've set a very powerful intention. We pre-paved that we're going to go down and get absolute 100% clarity on if this is where we want to be,
Yep.
and where, in not like the house. I'd be open to finding the house, but the, like, where specifically we want to be. And I've
Mhm.
also got my vision in terms of the type of place that we would love, and the dynamic and the kind of situation around it. So So, and holding it with an open hand, right? So there's that,
Absolutely.
there's, and for all of us, as we're building our vision, we're creating our, okay, well, I thought my business was going to look like this, or I thought my life was going to look like this, or something like that. We
Yes,
hold it with an open hand, right? Yeah.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
just got this really cool vision. Hi, AT2. My friends are here. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, do go down and click the link and subscribe to Catherine's YouTube channel and check out
Mm,
her
thank
website. And then my friends that are in the chat as well, AT2 and Make It Make Sense, and a few others. I want you guys to support them as well. I don't know if this is what you've been thinking or you've been envisioning, but I just got this kind of flash. I want to say it's almost like an Adobe kind of. It gives me like kind of Spanish, Mexican, kind of like that Adobe brick or stucco. But it's like kind of a. It's almost a compound. It's like I see it's a kind of a wall surrounding it. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 bedrooms. But land. Um, the only word I can find to describe it is hacienda, so like a kind of a Spanish ranch. So
Mm,
lots nice a nice amount of land for you, a nice size. It's very, very expansive, you know, outdoor cooking and outdoor, entertainment, but also just the flow of this house. It's like I can feel the breeze just
mm,
moving through the entirety of the home. And I do see that you have people that are working for you, that are helping you, and that you're able to pay them like a wage that they never would have imagined ever being able to earn
mm.
there. It's
I'm so open
beautiful.
to receiving. Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's definitely I mean, I wish I could just I'm just gonna try to telepathically shoot this to you, but I just it's ranch, and I see like kind of brick wall because you need some safety, right? Or you know what I mean. But it's there'll be like gated. Um, you're gonna get it for a very inexpensive price. Uh, it feels like someone may have passed away recently, and for whatever reason, family doesn't really want this particular location, or it could be an expat that was there already, and so there's no one really to claim it. So you're going to get it for a very inexpensive price, but you have people that'll help you maintain the house. Um, and so it'll be large enough that people can come and stay with you and be very, very comfortable. Um, but hacienda, so it's going to be a nice amount of land. Like,
Mm.
don't think small garden. Like, think mini.
Oh
Like, you
no.
probably think mini farm, right? Like a farm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I would love is to have a space to grow all of our own food, be
yeah,
fully
yeah,
self-sustaining, and to have
yeah,
guest facilities for friends and family to come and stay.
yeah.
And then also to have space. I would love it to be overlooking the ocean and to have space maybe on the property, I'm not sure yet, but I want to host women's events, like women's rebirthing events in sisterhood. So really getting into some deep woo woo activities.
There's going to be an adjoining spot for that
Okay.
over here. It's like
Okay.
yeah.
Let's
I
do an
see it.
episode
If
from
I was
there.
there with you, I'd be like, that's
Let's do an
it.
episode from there together. I think that would be
Okay.
so fun. I think that would be because part of it too is to have a recording studio to do all of
Absolutely.
my content in house. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's going to be
Yeah.
amazing what you're going to be able to do. I'm so excited
Yeah.
for you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Um,
and right, and it is and so for people listening, like I think sometimes and I'm the same, right? I think like I see somebody and they're like, "Oh wow, like how are they doing that? I could never have that level of believing. Like I have doubt, I have fear. Like, oh my God, I have doubt and fear. I have doubt and fear. So I'm like, who the hell am I to like think of this vision? How am I ever going to afford it? How's that going to work out? What about this? What about that? So I have those thoughts too, right? They
Yes.
don't just go away. And it's noticing and saying, I decline to make agreement with you. I am not making an agreement with these thoughts and
No,
beliefs of scarcity, limitation, and lack. I
absolutely.
am making agreement with the true source of abundance. I
Yeah.
am making agreement with possibility and potential, and that in a world of infinite possibilities, there are so many ways that this could work out that I have no idea.
Beyond anything you can ask
And
or think. My God, it's gonna
yeah.
happen.
Yeah,
It
and
has happened.
it takes some rigor. Yeah, right, that's the thing, when we create that vision and we connect, feed it with our energy,
Yep.
it gets to an energetic sufficiency, and then it's gonna download.
Yep, and then it comes into being.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we've been on almost an hour, but guys, I always like to let if anyone has any questions they'd like to pose, we'll just take a couple. We'll take a couple. I'm gonna put this link and because I don't want to keep Catherine too long because I'm sure she is. She's
My
got to finish painting and packing.
my, um my beloved has just woken up. He's, 9 hours different, so
Okay.
we talk twice a day, we connect twice a day. We have a gratitude practice that we share, and yeah, just yeah.
Okay. If you need to go, I mean,
Sure,
I
yeah,
will honor you. Listen, that's your
yeah.
sacred
No,
creator, honey.
he's going for a jog and hopping in the shower, so I got
Okay,
time.
great. Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
guys, I just dropped the link if you want to just come up again. We're not going to keep Catherine very long because her husband, if you missed it earlier, she's in Alberta, Canada, and he's in Madagascar
Mm,
working. So, we're going to honor that.
part of
And
the vision. Part of the
yeah.
vision. Yeah.
Catherine mentioned doubt and fear, but how do we break through to make that agreement with abundance? Thank you, Sunny.
Mhm. Do you want me to get this, or did you wanna comment
No,
on
no,
that?
go
Or
ahead.
okay, yeah. So, thank you, Sunny, for that question. Such a great question. So I think the first step really is starting to recognize that abundance is all around us, right? And I think we can think of abundance maybe only in certain areas, but when we can start to open up our mind, open up our appreciation of all of the many forms of abundance. And so, I can notice the abundance of snow on the ground. I can notice the abundance of fresh air. I can notice the abundance of, like, if I really think about it, and my husband's in Madagascar, like one of the poorest countries in the world. So I just go to, like, oh my God, like I'm online. Like I've got like a computer, I've got a camera, I've got a phone, like, oh my God, right? Like it shifts it for me. It really helps me notice all of the abundance that I already have. So that's the first thing, is noticing all of the abundance that's already in existence in your life. And the first currency of the universe is an idea. It's an
Mm.
idea. And so even thinking and noticing, like, oh, okay, well, that's an idea, that's an idea, that's an idea. So you're starting to tune yourself to the frequency of abundance.
Mm.
And as part of that process, you're unpacking your own doubts and blocks, because we all have blocks, right? So one of the examples I think I gave is if someone gives you a compliment or offers help and you're like, oh no, no, thank you, I've got it, or you kind of brush them off, or you feel like you need to like apologize or explain why you made a certain decision around money or doing something for yourself, you're blocking it, right?
Mhm.
Why would abundance come where it's not welcome? So really starting to notice, okay, what are those blocks within me? Fear and doubt's part of the process. Like it's always going to be there, to be honest, right? Like you're gonna, even the people who are like the most abundant, they have, as they're on that growth journey. So we kind of start out, here's the life that we've known, the vision that we're creating. It's calling us to become a more expanded version of ourselves, more in line with our higher self, more abundant in every form, time, money, freedom, health, vitality, love, joy, service, vocation, like all of it, abundant in every way. And the edge of the life that we've known is fear and doubt, right? Because
Mhm.
we haven't experienced that yet. So we don't know what to expect. We don't know how it's going to feel. We're doubting our capacity. We're doubting our willingness. We're doubting our worthiness. So knowing that fear and doubt is part of the process, it's not a sign that you're doing it wrong or you can't do it or you don't deserve it.
Mhm.
None of that. It's there for everybody. And then one of the things that I actually get my clients to do, and this is like a game changer for them, is to actually keep a journal, like a tracking journal, and I get them to do their wins. So every day they track their wins and their proud ofs. And so a win might be, I had a shower today. Maybe today you're navigating a lot of life content, but it's like, I had a shower, because in that whole day, you've got choices about what you're focusing on and what you're telling yourself. So you're telling yourself, like, oh my God, I'm so lazy. I'm this, I'm that, right? So you're starting to train your mind to focus on the wins, focus on the wins, focus on the wins. And then as you do that, you then actually get more of it, because that's how it works. What you
Yes.
focus on, you find it expands, you become that vibrational match to it. So you can do the same thing with abundance. And
Yes.
then the kicker here, again, it's like making that decision. You can say, I'm in agreement with abundance, but I'm like really stressed while I pay my bills, or I'm like behind on payments, or I'm like, worrying about this, or I'm not, upgrading to VIP because it's like, ooh, like it's like $300 or something like that. Right. If you're doing that, you are not making agreement with abundance. You're making agreement with scarcity. So you got to start it with action, and realistic action, right? Like if it's
Right.
a choice between, like, okay, I gotta pay my rent, or I gotta, like, upgrade to VIP, or, pay my rent or take this trip. Well, you take care of your foundational things, but you serve that agreement with action. So if I really, really knew that I was fully resourced and fully abundant, what is the step I would take? What is the decision I would make? And then you use language, and I hope you're writing this down because it's so powerful, is I'm choosing to, and I'm choosing not to. Because when you say things like, I'm not doing this because I can't afford it, you are the victim of that situation. You are making agreement with scarcity. But when you say, I'm choosing not to put my money here, instead, I'm choosing to do this. So I'm choosing to pay my rent instead of, I'm choosing not to do this. And just try that on, Sunny, and just to yourself right now, like, try that on, saying, I'm choosing to. And notice how different that feels. It puts you back in the driver's seat, right? So you're no longer a victim. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. I know that was like a whole lot of stuff that I just sent you there.
I put that down
Yeah.
below. I'm choosing to. So how that
Mhm.
might look to me, um, so I have an opportunity to take this class for voiceovers and to create audio, or like to be able to like do audiobooks or whatever. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do or not going to do that. But instead of that, I'm going to say either I'm choosing to take this class and invest this time, or I'm choosing not to.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
choosing to, make it real simple, pay my internet bill. So my internet's right. I'm choosing to pay my internet bill.
Yeah.
So that's $200.
Mhm.
So if let's say I had to make that, I had these two things there so that I wasn't feeling bad about whatever. I'm choosing to pay my internet.
Mhm.
So that feels so much better than, oh, I gotta pay this internet. I really want to do this other thing. But no,
Yeah.
I'm choosing to pay my internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm choosing to have 25 people in attendance at the workshops this weekend.
Mhm.
Right.
And also, as you're making that choice, coming from being in the vibration of gratitude,
Yes,
because gratitude is the frequency that's harmonious with abundance. So you
absolutely.
could say, I'm choosing to pay my internet to right? Or right? Because it's a choice, but
Ah,
really, like, you can't have abundance and scarcity at the same time. They're not on the same frequency. And so you got to get yourself up on the abundance frequency, and it's going to be like up and then you're going to fall off and up, you're going to fall off. And right. It's not like we just like get up there and then we're good to go forever and ever.
No.
So I'm choosing to pay my internet, and I'm really feeling grateful for how much connectivity it gives me, for all of the resources I'm able to access, the people I can connect with and come from that vibration.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you, I am very grateful for my gigabyte internet. I am highly grateful for my gigabyte internet. So I'm happily choosing to pay that bill every month.
Right? Yes. It's like, yes, I will pay this. Oh my gosh.
Not a
Right?
problem. Um, no,
Yeah.
absolutely, guys. And in coming from that gratitude space, um, thank you, Catherine, for telling everyone that you and I, everybody has some fear and some doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is a muscle that you exercise. And as you exercise that muscle, it gets stronger.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that as like if you go to work out and you're like working out and you're gonna max out, max bench press at whatever, 200 but now you're pushing to go max out at 225. Well, that's gonna require still some torn and sore muscles to get repaired. So we
Mm.
still have to deal with some of that fear and doubt,
Yeah.
right? As it gets as the visions get theoretically bigger, or really I think as the quantum leap gets larger, as we become more
Mm-hmm.
quantum and living in that quantum space, then our 3D
Mm-hmm.
self is like, "What are you doing?" You know?
Mm-hmm. And often, the fear, the doubt, the all of it is really escalated just before a quantum leap.
Yes, Lord.
It
Don't I
is
know it?
trying to keep you back where you've been.
Don't I know it?
Yeah, oh yeah, been there, done that. I remember doing, my first, like, full day live virtual event, and at the level of fact, I didn't have the number of people attending that I would love, and so I had a choice. Am I making agreement with that? Am I focusing on that? And am I telling myself I'm a failure, I can't do this, blah, 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 and I was sitting on the toilet talking to myself, like, first thing in the morning, having a pee. I'm like, or am I gonna, like, put on my big girl panties, and I'm gonna, right? And my fear wanted me to cancel it. It wanted me to get sick. It
Mm.
actually wanted me, like, well, like, oh, maybe do I feel okay? Like, it was right. So I'm like,
Wow.
no, I am doing this thing, and I'm doing
Absolutely.
it afraid, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And that was a quantum leap, right? Is that so now that's like, oh, like, well, yeah, I could do that, no problem.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Those have been
Yeah.
some of my best events, honey, when I was like, "Oh, it's not as many people." Those have been some of my best events.
Yeah.
And just
And
amazing.
yeah,
Okay, I
and
can
knowing that the
go ahead.
right and perfect people, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
all
Yes.
divine. It's
I
all
yes.
divine.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Miss Catherine, thank you.
Mm.
I
Mm.
mean, oh my gosh, guys, we need to let her go because I know her husband's not gonna be running forever. So, um, it's catalystcoaching.com, is that correct?
Yeah, and Katalyst is with a K, just like Catherine. Kath with a
Yes.
K, Catalyst with a K.
Catalyst with a K. Go to her site, um, go check her out. She's got newsletters. She's amazing. You can find her
Mm.
on YouTube, Facebook, all of her links, Instagram, all of her links are in the description here on the podcast, YouTube, the YouTube video for the podcast. We have it everywhere, as well as a link to her free downloadable visualization meditation. Guys, I love a good meditation. So you all definitely take advantage of that. It's absolutely amazing. I can't wait to
Mm.
talk to you again.
I know. I'm so grateful I met you. You are so, um just trying to find the right word, but like amazing, right? Just yeah, yeah. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Catherine and I are still working on my taking compliments. That's still a hard thing for me
Up until now,
up until now.
this is a brand new baby moment where you are fully receptive to all the abundance of the universe coming into you, goddess.
There you
Yes,
go.
as your birthright.
There you go. Thank you so much, my dear.
Mhm.
All right, gang. So we're gonna let you guys go. Um, for those of you new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We do have members Mondays. So tomorrow night at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, I'm gonna be with y'all. We're gonna chat about some things, I think, and I'm also gonna pull some cards for you guys. I like to give my members readings. It'll be short. I'm only on for an hour and a half, so if you haven't already become a member, the link is down in the chat as well, or down in the description, or you can hit that button there. I think it's like $1.99, guys. It's like I'm not trying to break the bank. But you get some
Wow.
extra time with me, right? And just the members. There's some things I want to chat about, guys, that I might not want to put on the main YouTubes of it all. So guys, come on and hang out with us. And if you missed the podcast or you want to rewatch it, you can go rewatch it as soon as possible. All right. All right, Catherine, I'm gonna let you down. Thank you so much, dear. Namaste, my dear.
Stay.
Bye. All right, gang, listen, until next time, peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys. Bye bye.